do need to discuss NATO here. I think we can all agree that the purpose of NATO in this day and age is really, really focused around Article 5. I mean, the reason why the Baltic countries in particular were admitted into NATO was because there's simply no way Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia could defend themselves as
Finland has a real military. Yes, their peer nations have real militaries. Denmark does not. Not yet. They're great allies, but they have a long way to go.
Carla, which peer nation of Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania could defend those countries against Russia?
I'm not talking about those countries, Ambassador.
Well, that's
talking
the
about Denmark. So you're conflating. You're doing whataboutism, and I'm not.
No, I'm not at all. You said during this that
they're not claiming Greenland either.
What?
Those small countries are not claiming Greenland. We're talking about Denmark and Greenland, so let's stay on the subject.
You made that.
Yeah. But Rufus, go to your point about Article 5 in NATO. How is that applicable to what we're talking about?
The point here is that any NATO country. So there's a lot of talk, and other folks have said in the past that President Truman has wanted to buy Greenland, and that is true.
Yes, President Trump's the third U.S. president to propose
that is correct. But you know what the solution to President Truman was? NATO, because when Denmark became NATO and NATO became this alliance, one of the purposes of NATO was simply that we wouldn't have to occupy the Baltic countries in order to defend against a Russian threat, that in fact it's an all for one or one for all approach. And that's why Article 5 is so important. So, I mean, look, the European leaders have gone on record for saying that if Greenland is ever invaded by an adversarial, by one of our opponents, that the alliance would be compelled to respond. And that's just simply true. And remember,
kind of like Ukraine.
Well, there was a response.
What's that?
Kind of like Hong Kong. Okay.
Well, neither of those countries are NATO.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure I understand that.
What I'm saying is that Europe doesn't really have a credible deterrence.
Okay.